Hey guys, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I've been meaning to reply back to a post comment about Quran was a goal for this person and that they do find it intimidating to start there with developing their reading habits. And I kept forgetting, and then it kept coming back that I have to make this video. So, okay. So why I say I disagree, I think the Quran is actually the best place to start. To develop a reading habit is because you can start from the smaller surahs, right? The short surahs, and develop that. And so as you're reading, you're getting ajr, and do a taddabur on it. Look up tafsirs on it, right? There's Bayyina TV, right? They go into in-depth analysis about it. Then reread what you just read and see how that could be applied into your life. Knowledge is knowledge, but knowledge without action, no applied knowledge, is you just have a bank full of knowledge in there, and if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So Allah Ta'ala, the Quran was there for a reason. It's supposed to be our manual. And so what I would say to the person who made that post is, don't let Quran intimidate you. And you know what? It did intimidate me at first too, because I'm like, it's in a language that is very rich. It's in a language that I do not know very well, other than the little bits that I do know. Right? And so yes, it can definitely be intimidating, but turn that into your dua, right? Oh Allah, allow me to develop my reading habits, by starting with your book. Allow this to be a transformative journey for me, right? Have a goal with it. And it's interesting because as you're reading the Quran, you may come across certain posts, you may come across certain videos, certain audiobooks, what have you, that will actually just reflect what you had just read, right? And so reading is great, but I feel like there is this whole marketing thing about greatest leaders or readers, and I'm not against that, but I feel like at this point, you're reading 100 books a year or 50,000 books a year. Okay, maybe 50,000 is kind of crazy, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like now at this point, you're just reading, you made the goal about numbers, right? And you're talking about people who've been readers for a very, very long time, right? At that point, their processing of what they're learning has gotten to the point where they can read and process 100 books in a year. That took years to develop that. I'm just saying, I'm just kind of against this whole, I'll teach you how to read 50 books a year and 100 books a year and how to this and how to that. And it's reading is supposed to be a transformative experience. Reading is really a personal journey, right? And so when we make it about a number instead of about the experience, you kind of it defeats the purpose and it defeats the point of reading, in my opinion, right? As a person who's been an avid reader, somebody who, works on books all the time. And, my goal is to build my publishing business so that I could amplify, Muslim narrative. Reading is an experience, and also what are you reading, right? So why I'm saying the Quran is because the Quran is the one book that is designed for the human being, right? So it doesn't matter what, kind of genre of book you're into. Any one of you can read the Quran. It's going to hit you different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, making it about a number, I personally, it doesn't sit well with me, right? I would encourage every single person is make reading a transformative experience. Let it be something. This is a moment where you're sitting down, you're slowing down, you're experiencing something, right? Between two books, you're going literally into a different world outside of your own, right? And it allows you it actually really helps you be a very good listener with your eyes. Okay. Because you have to take in what is going on. And the best part about it is, you can't give the character your 2 cents because they can't hear you. So, obviously, other than if you're feeling, obviously emotionally moved by what's going on, you're like, what are you thinking, you crazy person? But, but even then they can't hear you, right? So you want to feel engaged, right? And so, and it's an art and it takes time and it goes at your own pace. And so don't use other people's number habit thing as a, you know, that's their habit that they developed over a specific amount of time. For somebody to be able to read 100 books, I'm like, can you remember what you read in 100 books? And how have you applied those 100 books in your life? You get what I'm saying? Like, for me, that's the thing. I'm like, what the heck is the point of you reading 100 books if you didn't transform your soul? That's just what I don't know. That's just me. That's just my 2 cents. But anyways, moral of the story, Qur'an, Shaitan's going to come at you from earthing, okay? He's going to come at you from the righteous route, from the non-righteous route. He's going to come at you from earthing about this topic, you know? So anything to get you to not read the Qur'an and connect with it, you know? And just because it doesn't feel like you're connecting today, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work tomorrow or the day after. It doesn't mean that the Qur'an isn't still doing its purification process and it's not working through you and earthing, and it's not going to bless your life without you even realizing. Qur'an is shifa for a reason. If you think about it, you are literally reading the words of God, and when you're saying it with your tongue, your lungs, your gut, everything is engaged. Like, literally the words of God are inside of you when you are reciting the Qur'an. It is a very powerful experience. It's a very holistic experience, and it is amazing. It literally vibrates within you, right? When you recite the Qur'an with proper tajweed and all these things. So Qur'an is a relationship, and it's a never-ending source, it's like the gift that keeps on giving, right? So you go back to a surah and it's going to hit you different today than it'll hit you in 20 years. You know, it's experiential, it's beautiful, it's amazing. And, you know, you ask Allah going in to allow it to transform you, allow you to connect to it. You're connecting with the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? As one of my favorite sayings, I don't know who said it, but somebody said it. So, you know, you wanna talk to Allah, make dua, right? But you wanna listen to Allah talk to you, pick up the Qur'an, right? And what better author than Allah, who authored it just for you, right? Literally, like, his target audience was humanity. You know, usually when you're an author, you have a specific genre, you know, you have to know your audience, right? You have to know your audience that you're talking to specifically, right? Because it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But Qur'an is everyone's cup of tea unless you make it not your cup of tea. You know, that's the best part. That's what makes the Qur'an so genius, so miraculous. You know, I can keep going on about this all day. But, you know, time is of the essence. I don't want to, take too much of you guys' time. But inshallah, you found this beneficial. If you guys have any more questions or anything like that, hit me up. You know, I'll try to get back to you guys. But I pray this found you guys in the best of you, man, in health. And, yeah, deuces. Assalamu alaikum. Yo, P.S. from the last post. If you can develop a reading habit. Let me rephrase this. If you can't develop a reading habit with the words of God, who is the creator, how the heck can you expect to build a reading habit with his creation? Something that he created. You know what I'm saying? So start with the words of God, because the words of God, yes, they're powerful, could be intimidating, but they were designed specifically for us to be able to receive. So my point is this: you develop a relationship with your creator, it'll be very easy for you to develop your relationship with his creation, even if it's in a book form. All right, I'm done now. Deuces. Assalamu alaikum.